What's going on, guys? It's Seth. Today I'm back talking about, dividend investing. Not the most exciting for a lot of people, but for me, extremely exciting. And the reason why is because my income goes up regardless of my portfolio value. You can see right here, my income is at $1,450. Who knows? A company might do a dividend cut at some point, but if it does, it's not going to be the end of the world. For example, if AbbVie were to do dividend cut, it's only 1.6% of my portfolio. So, not killing me in the end. So, with all that in consideration, I'm absolutely loving where my portfolio is, and I kind of want to talk about where I am at in my dividend investing journey and what that looks like as someone who's in their early, mid 20s, and where I'm at. So, I started this portfolio up again in August 2022. So, a little over a year now, right? We're looking at a year and a couple months. I've grown this portfolio to just about $50,000, which I'm not complaining. I will take that. My goal is to have it at $24,000 by this time, but I really put my head down, picked up side hustles. I cut down on a lot of my expensive, and this just shows what you can do. I don't make a lot of money, right? I mean, I'm making, well, again, it's all relative to someone. It might be a lot. To another person, it might not be a lot. But just so you know, I'm making about $60,000 a year, and that is before taxes. And I grew this portfolio to $50,000. So did I live off of $10,000 in 1 year? Not necessarily. I have a lot of side hustles, right? I run an Instagram account for a gym. I take care of some horses, and I get $500 a month for that. I get, close to $500 a month for running this Instagram account, so that's an extra $1,000 every month. Yeah, I did DoorDash here and there, but honestly, I'm not a fan of DoorDashing. It's a lot of wear and tear in your vehicle, and, I'd rather spend the time with my family. Sometimes DoorDashing is great, and you can make $35 an hour on a Saturday or Sunday, and that's when I think it's worth it. When you can make $35 or $40 an hour on a Saturday or Sunday, work 2 hours, get $80 to $85, maybe work 2.5 hours and get $100. That's when it's the sweet spot, and there are times when you can do that. But with that being said, that's kind of my, investing in a nutshell, like what it looks like with, my income and how much money I put in. I do get bonuses for work here and there. I just got a bonus for $2,500. And you guessed it, I put it right into this portfolio here. And in the month of December, I was able to invest more than $4,000 in the month of December, which is just awesome. So with that being said, this is my portfolio. I do have plans in the near future. Do I like working? Yes, I don't mind my job, but by the time I'm 30, I could retire. And how I could do that is if I grew this portfolio to $50,000 in 1 year, a little over a year, just think what I could do in 10 years from now, or just think what I could do in 8 years from now, right? My portfolio value is at $50,000 right now. Let's say I put $30,000 a year for me. That's pretty much what I'm doing. Conservatively, right? I could boost that up to 40,000 if I want to. Let's say I have 8 years to grow it at 10%. I will have a certain amount of money that's not calculating right now, so I will get you back on that. One sec. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. I'm not sure why that wasn't working. But anyway, our current principal is at 50,000, annual addition, 30,000, years to grow, 10 years to grow, 8%, at growing at 8%. You calculate that, that's $577,000. We can even change these numbers, right? Let's say we have 10% growth over the next 10 years. Who knows? Now we're at 655,000. Or say we're doing 8 years at 10%. We're at a little under 500K. Now, my expenses are a little less than $4,000 a month, right? No car payments, no debt. I just have rent, food, my utilities. So my expenses are extremely, extremely low. So living off of $4,000 would be a breeze. The only thing that I would need to figure out is healthcare. Now, how would I live off of $4,000 making $484,000? Well, that's where I would switch to income investing, and I would be investing into holdings such as JEPI, which has an 8.4% yield. I'm not doing that right now, but my plan is to switch. And JEPQ, maybe a little bit of SVOL right here, 16% yield, Devo, right? And I'm inspired a lot by, here's another one, some closed-end funds. And I have a portfolio that I'm building on what that will look like in the future. But there's a lot of reasons why I want to do this. I'm not trying to get rich, honestly. I'm trying to be rich in time. And this will allow me to be rich in time. And there's a book called The Income Factory by Stephen Bavaria, and I really highly recommend that you read this, and it will kind of show you how this strategy works, right? You are receiving that 10, 11, 12% yield, and you are growing your income by reinvesting 3% of that 10% yield, right? So say you have $100,000 and you're making 10% on that, you're making 10,000, right? Well, you reinvest, you reinvest $3,000 and you take home 7,000, if that makes sense, right? So you're reinvesting, by reinvesting your the dividends that you're receiving back into your principal, you're growing your income, so your income doesn't stay stagnant. So a lot of people, say, oh, well, what about, JEPI or JEPQ, you're not going to get, or these covered call ETFs, you're not going to be getting, the growth that you would be getting if you're investing into QQQ or VOO or VTI. Yes, that's 100% true. But what you need to know is, right, if you can have JEPQ right here, which has a 10% yield, and you reinvest 2% of that back into your portfolio, then you're growing your income over time. And that's my plan. And really, I could accomplish that plan in 8 years if everything goes according to plan with the stock market, right? Say there's a 0% return, and I up this to $40,000, and I have 10 years to grow this thing. Let's see what I'm at. I'm at $450,000. So even with this all, not going to plan as far as the market goes, and I see 0% returns for the next 10 years, if I'm investing $40K, which is definitely doable for me for 10 years, I will have $450,000, and I can take, 10% of that, $45,000 a year, and I can reinvest, the 3% of that, right, back into my principal to keep growing my income. So with that being said, I'm very excited and I'm looking forward to the future and what it has to hold. I may even be bumping this up, this $40,000 annual edition, if I can get my income up. So right now I'm really just focusing on having different streams of income because there's not much tinkering I can do with this portfolio that's going to make a significant difference, right? I don't spend a lot of time thinking about this because I got the funds right here. I got SCHD and DGRO, and that's good enough for me, right? That's good enough for me. I think you need to figure out what your plan is and what works for you. With some people, it's going to be VOO, VTI, QQQ, SCHD, right? It might be just Vanguard funds, VYM, VIG, different dividend yielding funds. It's different for each person, So this is what works for me, and it's very important that you find what you're comfortable with, because what's going to keep you investing in a down market, right? Are you going to keep investing into the triple Qs when it's down 45% in 1 year? How are you going to feel when that happens? Are you going to be saying, oh, it's at a discount, I want to keep investing, or are you going to be freaking out? You never know until you're in it, right? So for me, I am looking forward to when the market goes down because I can buy SCHD and DGRO at a discount and I can lower my cost basis. And that is this is what keeps me investing. Honestly, if I am a very emotional investor. If I was invested into VTI or QQQ, it's just different. I don't know what it is, but it's just different for me. And I totally understand that I could be getting a greater total return investing in QQQ and VTI, right? So let's say, for example, VTI and QQQ combined, let's go to Portfolio Visualizer here, and I can show you, right? Let's go to VTI, and let's go QQQ, and let's equally weight these portfolios at 50%, and let's see what their total return is, right? Their total return is, on average, 10.7% since 2002, averaging 10%. Now let's go since 2012, right here. They are averaging 16.4%, right, since 2012, compared to SCHD and DGRO, which is lower. Check it out. Boom. SCHD and DGRO, 10.9%. So you can see right here, say we have 10 years to grow at a 16% compounded rate of return, and I invest my $30,000. Boom. You're at $962,000 versus, which was SCHD and DGRO since, well, that's 2015. So I wish I could get, 2012, but let's call it, what it is, 11%. Boom, 11%. It's a little different. You're at about $700,000, right? So you're $200,000 off. But what I'm doing for this portfolio is I am increasing my income. I'm not looking for, the maximum total return. And that's just what I'm comfortable with because it's what's going to keep me invested. And I absolutely love growing my dividend income stream. And who knows, guys, my plan might change in the future. And I may just keep this portfolio, keep it on. Who knows? Maybe I don't want to quit working. Who knows? But my plan right now is in the next 8 years is to really free up my time and to be completely free to spend that time however I want with my family. Say, I'm in California, so say I want to go surfing, right? Say I want to go to Santa Cruz or whatever it is. However I like to spend my time. I want to be free of time. I don't want to be chained to a job. And doing this is why I'm so motivated to do this. And really the steps that will allow me to do this are building up my income streams and investing into SCHD, DGRO, putting it on autopilot, set it and forget it, boom, we're good to go. Now, who knows, QQQ might not be having the greatest returns as it has in the past, right? Past returns doesn't guarantee future returns. So who knows what that might be. And I'm okay with leaving money on the table, right? You can see here the value of this was of the portfolio visualizer for investing in SCHD and DGRO is $700,000 versus $900,000, right? That's a significant difference. However, for me, with my expenses, it really isn't going to be that much of a difference, and I am totally okay with that. And that's just what I'm comfortable with, and this is dividend investing. And, I do have, obviously, Apple. I do have Microsoft right here. I have Visa, I have MasterCard, Costco, SPGI. I do have high growers in this portfolio, and I will keep those going because those are the companies that I'm very comfortable with. Right now, Apple is looking at a pretty... Yeah, it's not looking bad. I might be throwing money into Apple here soon. I love Visa. I love MasterCard. I'm going to be investing into these heavily. Costco, MasterCard, Visa, Apple, Microsoft. Now, I know this was kind of a tangent. For those of you who stuck around for this near 15-minute video, I really appreciate it. But I just wanted to get some stuff off my chest. And let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm sure everyone has their thoughts. Just share them with me. I love to talk to you and see maybe where your portfolio is at. Share with me your journey and where you're at and what your plans are. Well, with that being said, I really appreciate it, guys. And I will see you soon. Bye.